welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing? Grab your coffee, maybe some hot tea. Definitely a snack. And let's get into it. So, what we're going to be discussing today is what our community members, what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, right? And, for those of you that say that I should not be saying boots on the ground because I'm stealing from another channel. Okay, listen, I'm going to say this. I'm only going to say this once. Okay, boots on the ground is a military term, and we are a military family. So therefore, I will use whatever term I want to use. Okay? Thank you. So, this first community member, she wrote in and she said, well, color me aghast and oh my Lanta. That's my daughter-in-law's favorite saying. Oh my Lanta. She says it all the time. She's so cute. She said, my small country town is called Ballarat. And I went to one supermarket called Coles. She's in Australia. In a suburb called Bakery Hill. And this was the rice. I get the Coles rice in the blue, and I thought it was Australian, but no, it's from Thailand, and Thailand and its neighbor are banding together, so the small bit of rice they sell to the open market is sold at top dollar, and had their harvest affected by the weather. Ay, 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 look at this. And this picture was sent in by a community member, and he says, I was at Walmart this weekend and noticed a whole 5 rows or more of shelving missing. They have pallets of products staged there now. And he said, also noticed several rows shortened about 5 feet. Supposedly is due to remodeling, but I find it interesting. And when I saw this picture, I'm like, that's a whole lot of pallets. But why are the aisles missing? Why? So take a look and see what you think. And here's an email from a community member, and they said, hi there, just a couple of things I'd like to share. I live in northern Utah, and usually our area starts to cool down this time of year. But over the last week, we've had over 100-degree temps. Yeah, believe me. I know. It's like crazy pants here. It is so darn hot. You even dare to walk outside. You got to run back in and jump in the shower. It's so terrible here. And then she goes on to say, our gardens are suffering. Oh my gosh, yes, do I know that. It is awful. It's so terrible. I've been hearing horror stories about people's gardens. It's terrible. And she goes on to say, and because of the heat, our county has called for early out days of all the schools. Really? Wow, that hasn't happened here yet. Huh. And it's literally like the feel-like temperature, like with the humidity and everything else all involved. I mean, it's like 110, 112 degrees here. And that's like normal for us. Yeah. Our schools do not have adequate air conditioning. Oh, no kidding. Okay, so that's why. And our school buses don't either. My preschooler isn't even going because they canceled his classes for the week. My high school and junior high kids are melting in their classrooms during the morning hours. I'm born and raised here, and I have never heard of a district calling off school for heat. This is so strange to me. Yeah, I've never heard of that either. I mean, I've heard snow days. Down here we have hurricane days. But heat days? This is the first I'm hearing about this when it comes to schools. As hot as it is here right now, the born and raised locals are very aware of how quickly it will turn cold. So my husband and I spent our holiday weekend bucking out about 3 cords of wood and stacking it with the rest of our firewood. Snow is just around the corner. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that our Sheriff's Department recently sent out a statement about the Department of Agriculture. It states that the Department of AG will be driving around looking for chicken owners. Really? And asking them to check for the avian flu. This weirds me out. I'm all for trying to keep the wild bird population healthy, but I certainly don't want strangers coming on my property and scoping things out. My final thing I want to let you know is over the last 2 weeks, I have found 2 different men that I have never seen before on my property. What? I called the sheriff on one, but I didn't see the other one had been snooping around my property until later that night when I checked the security cameras for a different reason. It made me double check my window locks and triple check that doors are locked at all times. Even when we are home, we live in a small Mayberry type town where everyone knows everyone. We have never had to worry about locking our doors until Rona. That's when things got crazy around here. I think that anything is possible in these days, and keeping your home locked up is going to be more and more important. Oh my word. Oh, that's terrible. Wow. And then this email was sent to me by a community member in Burbank, California. And she said that this is what was sent to her in an email. And it says, "Dear valued customer, good job, Burbank. You heard our call to conserve, and you made a difference. We're almost there. Only one more day to get through this heat wave. Keep up your conservation efforts. There will be even more demand on the energy grid today. We need everyone to continue saving energy and increase their efforts to keep the lights on. Help conserve electricity between the hours of 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. to prevent power outages." Conserve again today by taking some simple steps. Set your AC thermostats to 78 degrees or higher. Use large appliances before 4 p.m. or after 9 p.m. Turn off all unnecessary lights and appliances. Close your window coverings to keep your home cool. Minimize opening and closing the refrigerator. And if you're going away for the weekend, consider setting your thermostat at 80 degrees or higher. Oh my God. My God. And then this email was sent to me, and this community member just said, "More ramblings." I said, okay. She said, "With California and the water, they were supposed to have been conserving water for years. A lot of people didn't even pay attention to it over the years. They're still out there watering their lawns. With the rolling blackouts have been going on for a few years too, even before the Paradise fires. So it's nothing really new, and they were warned. It's just all coming to a head now, and will get worse, I'm afraid. As usual, the majority aren't even prepared for it. I've told many people that if you are freezing a lot, then you need to be able to preserve it. Do you really have enough gas to run a generator for a month? Those small batteries, they will run a freezer for less than a day, depending on the size. Then you need to recharge by solar, and it takes 8 hours to recharge if you have the sun to do it. What if it's cloudy or rainy for a week? I've had it happen. Lose power for a week, longer in other areas. Storm took it out with it being 103 degrees. I was canning while everyone else was barbecuing. Or it just went bad. No stores were open, no gas was available. Most people just lost all their frozen meats and vegetables. They weren't even prepared for it. With Harari, he's an historian. They called him the prophet, not as a prophet of the Christian God, but of a prophet as a historian, and to be able to see what could very well happen in the future. With the article that you read, she said, I do have to agree with him on a lot of points. These things are going to happen whether you like it or not. If you have the understanding that we as cattle are forced to do things, can we stop it? I don't think so. What you really think you are going to vote them out? Wake up and smell the coffee. No. No, you can't vote them out. The masses don't vote and elect. The powers that be decide who they want up there. Yes, I know, we've been saying that for years. It's illusions and distractions. If a president was good or bad, they are a puppet, and that is all. Even 45 giveth and taketh away. If you don't get this chip, you will no longer get money. Yes, I know. Like Social Security or public aid, you won't have a job. You don't own your house now. You don't pay your taxes. It's gone. If you have children with no house, no job, etc., they will get taken away from you. They will be chipped since they are a ward of the government. You will basically be classified as an unfit parent. You won't have a garden. You won't have anywhere to live, maybe the sewers. You won't have any type of medical care, none, not even herbs or vitamins. Are you pregnant? That child might be automatically chipped once born. Oh, that's scary. If not chipped, they will no longer get an education. All homeschooling will be forbidden, or you will be handed the things to teach him or her with, no exceptions. Let's take Rona, for example, in the U.S. You had a choice of whether to take it or not. Yes, you had repercussions like losing your job, but you still had the choice. Imagine when there is no choice. You do it or you lose everything. House, job, kids, medical care, medicines. Will you be able to escape? What will you do? Death will be the only option. You may survive a little, but but for not for long, even your kids. The things I don't agree with him on is AI. They are already here and a lot smarter than people think. They don't like to show them, but these things slip through from time to time. They are a lot more advanced. Who do you think is really ruling the planet? AI. They run on statistics and probability and how to control. You don't understand the depth of control that they have. It's over everything you already think or do. They have always culled, but at present it seems they want things culled deeper, or maybe just let us think that we are actually controlled to kill each other. Your beliefs are what they want you to believe. You have choices, but still controlled by them. They really don't need the chips in order to do this unless something big is coming. They want everyone to be on the same track. It would be difficult to do that with so many different ways of thinking without a chip. You can take that any way you want, whether it's for the Christian God, the Muslim, the Jewish, Buddha, left, right, or even the aliens. They need their worker bees on the same track. If not, then death is their only option. COVID was a testing ground. They've done it in the past with other diseases. Some people died, but a lot didn't. Some are having medical problems because of the jab, but most are not. It's genetics to see where, when, and who. We already genetically engineered children. Cloning, deciding the sex, DNA, manipulation in order to remove mutations. A little secret. Do you ever wonder why we have so many functioning autistic children now? Especially Asperger's. Highly intelligent with a precise, straightforward thinking, but also easily controlled. They prefer the quiet, not a lot of contact with people. The perfect geniuses. Give them what they want and they are happy, genetically engineered. They've had years and years of practice. My ramblings are done. Wow. Interesting. And before I go, a community member, she lives in Ohio. She is in desperate need to find canning jars. Money is very tight for her right now. She said, especially after what she went through with Giant Eagle. Remember when she took her card that she gets the $175 on, and they took her money and blah, blah, blah. So she said she had to pay out of pocket just to get food. She said thank God she had some in her prepper pantry, but she needs to get more jars so she can can up some meats and fruits. She said she realizes that everyone is trying to collect jars too, but if anyone has any extra, or if you could tell her where to find some jars, please let her know. So if you could, tell her in the comments section if you are in Ohio, or if you know of like a Facebook Marketplace or whatever the case may be, of someone who's giving away free jars, could you please let her know? All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less.